Okay, guys, I'll start again. I had a wee bit of problem with my camera there, and I just needed to sort it out. So, what I have on the lathe today is a piece of yew, and I'll just get my measuring stick. It's just about 12 inches long, and this piece is about just over 4 inches wide at the widest point. And what I plan to do with this is make a nice tree out of it. Competition next month for December is a Christmas item, and for those who have watched my videos in the past, I have made loads of wee Christmas trees with lights in them. So I thought I would do a nice tree made from yew, and I think yew will make it stand out a lot because it's nice timber. Now there's a couple of wee cracks running up along this. I bring you over the overhead camera so that you can see. You can see that crack there, but it sort of stops about half-inch into it. I think there's another one somewhere. No, just that one. Okay, that's just at 600 RPMs. So we'll just take a wee bit off this and see what. I really want to get a tenon on this end, so we'll concentrate on this end first. See if we can get a tenon, because this is just spinning in between centers here, and it's slowing down an awful lot. So and I think that would be enough. That would fit okay. So we'll just get that off the chuck, or out of from between centers. We'll get it in the chuck. This chuck here has better gripping on it because of the C-jaws on it. There's a wee lip, and when it tightens on, it bites into the wood. And I'm just going to do my grub screws up. This is quite a heavy chuck, and in the past I've been turning a few things and it started to wind off on me as the piece was slowing down, so I always tighten them up, and then you can avoid any accidents that are going to happen. Well, help prevent any accidents, I should say. See if I can get the speed up a wee bit. Vibrating. I'm just at 1000 RPM, so it's vibrating a wee bit. So hopefully when I take this wee limb off, it'll settle down a bit. want to put a tenon on this end as well. I'm just going to straighten this end up. Okay. That crack is still visible. It's not too bad. Like it ends about where that tenon is. So I need to put a bit more shape onto this to get it into the point for the tree. So we're going to try and concentrate on this bit. Right, okay. So first one there, second one there, third one there, fourth. Is it 4 runs? One, two, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So another one here. Okay, so that's more 4 branches with 5 branches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Always leave a bit more on the end because if you could make it too close to the end, I mean in length, this is quite a bit longer this way, so I'll be going right in the tip of that. So you want to allow for that. This is going to be the base here. So we'll just cut the parting tool, and so we'll just bring those lines in. Okay, I brought that down a wee bit. So a wee bit of bark there flew out. So most of this will probably turn away once I start shaving the branches on this. So I'll probably end up putting a wee bit of super glue. I'll probably put it in now. Just a wee taste of miter bond to help that. Okay. Let's start with the top one. Putting a wee bit of a curve into the branch of the tree. And coming back out again at the top. And back out again. Right. See what that's like when I clean these ends up. Right. Just using a skew chisel. Oops. Okay. I think I'm happy enough with my shape. I'll just check these for sizes. Right, on the center one we have to part it in the middle, and just looking, working my skew here. Where's my parting tool gone? Oh, there's it. I part this here because there's no way of reaching the whole length of this to put the lights in, so I do it in two. Cut it here, and then you can do those three branches and then those two. So you want to buy a set of lights with 20 in it. Okay. And 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. Okay. And you have 5 branches. So that's 20. If you can't get 20, don't worry about it. I've had to put 25 in the past, and I just stick them inside it. There's nothing you can do. I wouldn't try cutting these wee lights. They're very fragile. The wiring on them is very poor, and if you over tighten them or pull them, they don't work. I was putting some in the other night, and I was sitting. Best put them in with the batteries in it and turn it on as you're fitting the lights into the holes you put in, and then you can tell if it's, because if you get them in and you're sticking them in, and you go put a battery in after they're stuck all in, you have to take them out again because something wrong. So I came across a set of lights that were faulty by chance, and I was able to just take them back out again. Just a wee tip, wee tips are well and good. So I want to part this right on that point. So I'm going to take a wee bit off this one and off the bottom of this one to make my joint. You'll see what I mean. So right on that point, and then take a half of this with the parting tool again, And then the same again on the other side. And that gets me a wee tanning for the fit of the gear. So I'm going to use the thin parting tool here to separate that. When you come to this bit, to do the Forstner bit, these first two are okay, but when you gradually come up to here, 35mm is going to be approaching on the outside, so you don't want to go any further than this point with a Forstner bit. Just do the rest with the tools. You just want to make enough room. I would stop here on your lights, your hole. You're going to drill your hole in this bit here, and the same on the whole way down. This is that's just sitting at 600 RPMs. And just take it gradually and take your time. Don't rush it. Remember, you don't want to create too much heat. Clear your shavings. Have a wee brush somewhere. I was using to just brush the Forstner. Clear. Go back in again. We're near at the depth here of the bit, so we'll have to clear a wee bit off the side of it with the tools and make room for the Forstner bit to go on a wee bit more. I'll just change that over to the tailstock on camera, because it just gently does it. I'll take a wee bit more off that. Still a wee bit, yeah. Down to about there. You don't want to go past that point with the Forstner bit, because you're going to be drilling a hole, so it'll be up that way. So you can afford to go a wee bit, but not too much. So right, stop that and have a wee look at that. Let's see where we are. That looks good. So it's right there. So my hole's going to be here somewhere, so it's in the right space. So that's where I'm near enough where I want it. So at this stage, we want to get an auger bit. Just watch these auger bits, because they can grab because of the spiral on that. I just want to pull it straight in, so just be wary. Hold on to your chuck. And avoid extending your quill and your tailstock the whole way out, because if it got to catch and get stuck in it, you could end up bending your quill and your tailstock, and that wouldn't be good. So I tend to wind it almost at its back and then push it forward and then go a wee bit more, and you'll feel it going out the other end because it's easier. That's a through. So that's that. So that's nice and tight. That's in. Right. Again, we want to get our size. Bring our piece over. Set your calipers to the outside diameter of your tenon. You see it now. If it matches up with that point there, that's your size. So that's set, that marked. We'll just get the parting tool and just make a wee line back from it. I always tend to steer a wee bit on the small side in case it's too tight or too small. All that vibration is loosening the tail or the rest. Let's do that. We'll just stop that and check our bottom piece for fitness. Right, that almost goes in. So you can still see my line there. So I was trying to hold it back a wee bit. So that just needs a wee smidgen of it. Right, we'll stop that and have a wee look. We'll get our depth gauge over and see just where that is. Right, that's it there. So we are here. So we can go a wee bit more with a Forstner bit. We'll see where that is now. Right, we're right on the tip of that point. So take a wee bit more out with the spindle gouge to get rid of some of the waste around that wee ridge. Tight there. So we're here. We still need to go a wee bit more. So I'm going to use this big parting tool here just to get me a wee bit more leverage on this. I'm just going to fit this together again. We'll want to line it up exactly where we want it. So when it comes to drilling the holes, something wrong here. Yeah, that's not right. Need to loosen that. See, I cut that friggin' wee point knob off this, and that was center hole was in it. So I'm having to guess now to get this recentered. Right. Why I took that off and down so that I can get my ruler to set it flat across this. And the way I do this is I use the chuck jaws. So if you're going off the center screw here, which is, let's see, I'll bring that down and over a wee bit. So I'm using the point of that screw on the point of my revolving center to give me the line between that. And you want to draw a line, miss one, and that. Okay, and you go to the next screw and do the same halfway in the screw on the point, and somewhere there mark the next every R1, and the last one is this one, and that should be them all done. That's them all done. So when it comes to where you're going to drill the hole, because we'll switch back to the overhead, I show you this. Because I stopped the Forstner bit here, we can't go any further than that. So we want to be here somewhere. We don't want to be too close to the edge of this and end up breaking that out, which I've done in the past on the pine ones I've made, because pine's that soft and I've been close to the edge, and when you drill a hole it just wants to break out. So I tend to try and make it somewhere there. These ones you're sort of alright, so but you want to keep them sort of the same distance as the top one, and I'm just doing this by eye, and same again here for the wee light to go in. It's not so much the wee light itself, it's the plastic on it and the backing. So this is a 6mm bit, right? The wee light, this is the wee lights here, 20 lights, coloured lights. You see the wee plastic bit on the end of them? Okay. If you drill the hole too small, it'll be too tight to get in. So that's less than 6mm. So as you can tell by it, looking at it. So that plastic bit on which covers the end of the light, it's solid, and if you monkey around with it or bend it in any way, it'll stop working because the wires are that fragile. What I was saying, because of the length of these wee lights, sort of stagger them when you drill the hole. So if you put this one towards that way a wee bit, okay, I'll just get one of these wee lights and I'll show you that going in. So it's this bit here I'm talking about here, the plastic wrap they have on them. So that's just, you could probably go down a size, but I find it's too tight, and I find the 6mm bit is better for them, and that allows me to get a wee taste of hot melt glue into the hole. That's how I stick them in. So yeah, I'm in the solid timber. Just make sure you go in deep enough in when you don't end up having to drill it again. Right, that's all. You see the bottom of the piece where it's drilled into the solid timber on the holes. So that means I'm not far away from it, but you need to bring it down a wee bit more. try and put those lights in from the inside would be awkward. So you wanna be below the axle hole, just enough to get it in. So gently does it. So when you get at that stage, all left is sanding, and I'll do that later. I'll put a wee taste of filler into that, and I'll leave that to dry, and I'll come out later on. I have a few things to do, so I'm just going to wrap it up here, and we'll carry this on later on. So I need a medium color, so you can see that the two halves have moved, and not a problem. We're going to be sanding that anyway, and then we're going to be it's not critical at this stage that they don't line up. Well guys, we're back in the shed this evening. So where I left off, this was filled in with a wee paste of wood filler. So we're going to sand it off and see what happens. Right, okay. That's a wee bit of sanding done to it. I'm going to give it a coat of sand sealer and see what it's like. Still have a wee bit to do up here, and I have to sort the bottom out yet, so we're not out of the weeds yet. Give this a good shake. Came up alright, eh? Here I'm going to just round it over a wee bit, like a wee ball or something. Let's see how steady this is in the chuck. Okay, so that's all the sanding done. We'll just give this another wee lick of sanding sealer. Oh, there's a bit of movement now. Yeah. Just got to tighten in this here and breaking this. I'm near there anyway. I just want to tidy this up here at the bottom, and then that would probably do it. Right, let me taste the sand sealer. It's held there, and then tape it up to do the top. It should be alright for a couple of seconds. Got a wee taste of grit on it. And 400. So that's that. Part done. So right. I could take it down. I could take it right down a bit more and then center that. I'm changing my mind all the time here. Sometimes when you look at a piece and you try different shapes and stuff, with the shape of this, if I bring that down, sweeping down to the bottom here, I think it's going to look better than being square and flattish, and it doesn't say much. But if I do that, put that bevel on that and take it up to this point where this turns around again, and then the tree can sit on that. Right, well, try that, Paul. Right, that's okay. I'll give sides of this a wee wipe to take any dust off. Right, so we taste the wax, and that'll be that done, bar putting the lights into the tree. We'll not do that tonight. It's getting on a bit. Give us a good coating, and then tomorrow I'll probably give it another coat. So there you are, guys. That's my B3 from a competition piece. Enjoyed making that out of a lovely piece of wood. all the rest I have made are out of pine, and pine throws up all sorts of problems. Uh, it's full of resin, for one. It's dusty, and you get sand and sand at it, and you don't get anywhere. You can get a better finish with that, you know. Uh, that, that looks the part, I think. Okay, where I left off was I sanded this, I give it a coat of sand sealer, and I left it there. So I'm now going to drill a hole in the bottom of the base. This is the wee set of lights, and you want to make sure they're working before you start to put them in. And where did I put the batteries of those? Yeah, I got them. Why I'm saying check them before you start. The wire in these wee lights, even though they're only £1 each, are very fragile, and pulling the wire the wrong way will damage it and result in some of the lights not working. Now, I tried to repair a set of lights where I had already in the tree, and I was a bit annoyed about not working. Some of the lights were working and some of them weren't. So I tried to repair it by peeling this black, I'll show you it now, just get that in. They keep changing these wee lights every year. What's that bed for? I don't know. It doesn't do anything apart from sit there. And they decided to put a screw in this set this time. So all the lights now this year have a wee screw you have to take out. No need for them. Right. This wee black cover is like a plastic. I think it was their heat shrink. It was something onto them. When you peel that away, you're left with the glass LED with two barbs on it, and the wires are that fine, it's hard to get solder on them. So when you're putting these in, be very careful when you put the wire through the base. Don't give it a big pull and think it'll be alright. What I do is turn them on and feed them through one by one, and the same idea when you go to put them in the tree. And if you get them all into the tree and in position before you glue them in, and they're all still working, hooray, you're flying. So that goes in there, and that's that part done. Okay, just put them through a few at a time, and don't pull them too hard. You would be very tempted just to pull that and make it go on through. Don't. You'll break the connection, and then that's a satellite you don't have. I tried, as I said, I tried to repair them. It's no good. I just bend it, and that's where this spare cover came from for giving me the recess size for the battery pack. When you're doing this as well, you want to be very careful, because you could end up with a wire. And you can see they're not easily got in. You have to filter. The first ones are the worst. The first one on the base and the first ones in the top. having a bit of power with that one, so we'll go with this one. Once you get one and start it, the wire sort of pulls down and see it's just getting it in position. I'll change over. So if you grab it by there and that's me, you maneuver that in and twist it down when you're going into the hole. And there, oh, I had it in the hole there. There's it through. So just grab it and give it a wee tug, not too aggressively. And when you put it down, it'll bring the next light right down to the bottom, and it'll help you put that in. And you just grab. I need to pull that back a wee bit. It'll let you put the next light in. See, this is. See when it catches here on the rim, it won't let the slack on the wire wait. But you can get the idea. They're easy put in, easy enough put in. And once you've got them in, glue them in. And all I do is hot melt glue, stick a nozzle in there, squirt a wee bit of glue in, and then push the wee light in to its flush with my finger and hold it for a second or two, and it'll stay there. Yeah, that's right, round. There's a crack on the upside. But there you are, guys. That's how you put the lights in. So I'm not going to show you me gluing them in. I'm just going to glue them in, and I'll bring you back when I'm finished gluing them in. And then we'll glue this to the base. I'll show you the foam. I'll show you me putting the foam in it as well. So once we get those all glued in, I'll bring us back and foam it up. And okay, guys, I'm back out in the shed this evening. I've had all the lights glued into the tree, and it's all stuck onto the base. I'm going to pump the foam in, as I said I would show you, and me putting it in. Nothing exciting, but it'll just take the void up and surround all the wires and make sure they're all nice and solid, so there's no chance of it coming loose. Now this one's a wee bit tricky, so you have to do this one hanging as it is, and put the nozzle right down and give it a good squirt, and it'll fill the gap, and then retrieve it a wee bit and squirt it again till it starts foaming up. And I'm just going to go leave that for a second. I'm going to get the glue ready, and I'm going to go ahead and stick it all in one go. Had a wee mishap earlier with the piece. It fell off the bench when I had the lights in it, and I hadn't got the base connected to the bottom of that yet, and it broke the wires in half, and I had to sit and solder them there. But it broke in a good place, so I was able to get working at it. So you can see that foam's rising, and it'll probably rise enough for me to do that. So I'm going to squirt a wee taste of glue around the top of this, and that'll run down the sides as well, and then we can clean the excess off. So I'm just going to give that a wee squirt more. That'll fill that space up, and I don't put any more in that, because when that expands, that will take the void up. So now on with the lid, and we'll twist it round till we get our matching. That's it there. That's a match. I need to clean that glue off quickly. Get a wee bit of kitchen roll. Oh. Just give it a white brown and dry that off. Right, we need to match this up, and that's quite tight. So what I do now is put a bit of tape over that. Just to make sure it's nice and tight on it, because that foam will expand and want to push the top off before the glue is dry. So my joint's here, so I'll tape that over that joint. So that's the battery pack and all in. That's the light done, guys. So I'll set that to the side and let that dry overnight, and then tomorrow I'll take the tape off that. We'll give it a wee buff up on the buffing wheel just to bring the shine back up on that. But that's how you make a light. Let's see where my wagons. You can see. So that's it done. So just that one mishap along the way when it fell over and broke the wire on me before I could get a chance to glue them in. Trying to do too many things. So that's it done. So there you are, guys. One Christmas tree made from you. And this is going to, as I said, this is going to be my competition piece for next month, as it's to be a Christmas item. So we can't get any more Christmassy than that. A nice wee tree, and the lights in it makes it a wee bonus. So hopefully I might get a place, first, second, and third for that. So guys, thanks very much for coming over and watching this. Good wee project in itself to make. There's spindle turning in it involved. There's a wee bit of boring involved, and a wee bit of shaping with natural edge piece on the bottom. I think that makes it. I think it suits the wee natural edge piece on the bottom. I'm in our craft fair on Saturday, and this is Thursday evening, and so I'm going to stick all these lights in with a hot glue, and then let them cool down, and then tomorrow I'll glue them, and we'll take it from there. So I'll catch us all later. Bye.